Do you catch yourself saying things like, "back in my day," or "kids these days just don't understand"? Does technology confuse you now when it never used to? Have you found yourself recently shaking your head, fondly remembering things from years past? If you wistfully long for the good old days of yore, this video is for you. Stay tuned for a nostalgic walk down memory lane as we explore things that indicate you might be getting old if you actually remember them. Remember the days of the TV Guide magazine? It was our Bible for knowing what was on television. You'd consult the schedule to see when your favorite shows were airing that week. There was strategy involved too. You'd scan through to plan out your whole week of must-see TV. Gotta make sure to catch the Monkees on Monday at 7:30. Don't forget Lost in Space on Wednesday. You'd even schedule your life around the TV schedule. The tiny boxes would list out every show airing on every channel. You'd analyze which shows overlapped and prioritize which ones you wanted to watch live. Recording multiple shows at once back then wasn't an option. It was kind of exciting waiting all week for your show too, instead of binge watching whenever you want like today. And seeing that little TV Guide description really built up the anticipation. The TV Guide was your trusty planner for all things television. The magazine also had great interviews and previews to get you pumped for upcoming episodes and new shows. It was the ultimate entertainment hub. TV today may be more convenient, but there was something satisfying about planning out your week of appointment television. Requesting songs on the radio by calling the DJ. You would sit by the radio for hours, just waiting for the station to announce they were taking dedications. As soon as they gave out the call-in phone number, you'd scramble to dial in, hopes of being the right caller. With the receiver tucked between your shoulder and ear, you'd twist that rotary dial with your finger, slowly pulling it around after each number. Let it move too far past the metal stopper, and you'd have to start the whole sequence again. Finally hearing the line ring, your heart would race waiting for the DJ to answer. If you were lucky enough to get through, speaking clearly and slowly, you'd make your special dedication with love to a friend, crush, or in memory of someone special. After hanging up, you'd wait anxiously through the next songs, ears glued to each announcement, hoping to hear your dedication played and your chosen song come through the airwaves. The two-wheeled metal carts you walked home from the grocery store when you didn't drive yet. You'd carefully pile in as many groceries as you could, then slowly roll that noisy metal basket all the way home, trying not to let the eggs smash or the milk topple over. Weaving those tippy things along the sidewalk without face planting was an art requiring total concentration. Your grandma's plastic seat covers on her good living room couches. She would carefully arrange those clear plastic sheets over the floral patterned couches in the formal living room that no one ever sat on. Placing them just so and smoothing out any wrinkles, she'd make sure they completely protected the fabric beneath. As a kid, you didn't understand the point. Couldn't anyone could just lift the plastic off if they wanted to sit down? But you didn't dare challenge Grandma's strict rule. Lowering onto the couches, the plastic would stick to your legs and make squeaky sounds if you shifted even an inch. Sitting ramrod straight so as not to disturb them, you'd peer over to make sure Grandma wasn't glaring from the other room. The hot plastic sealed you in place, making you sweat in the summer and slide all over in your Sunday clothes. But Grandma's wrath if you disrupted her perfect plastic couch covers was far worse than any discomfort. Snack time when you got home from school. Opening up your trusty Lunchables or pouring yourself a nice cold glass of sugary sweet tang felt like such a treat. Then you'd dig into packages of Dunkaroos, Gushers, or fruit by the foot as you unwound from the long school day. They may not have been the healthiest snacks in retrospect, but man, were they delicious. Going to the full-service gas stations where attendants wearing uniforms would come out and pump your gas for you. You'd pull up next to the pumps and roll down the window, never needing to step out of the car. The gas attendants would ask you how much gas you wanted, opening your tank for you and inserting the hose. As the numbers flipped slowly on the pump, they'd wash all your windows, check your oil or other fluids, and check your tire pressure without you lifting a finger. Some might even replace wiper blades or check your other belts and hoses if you asked nicely. If it was around the holidays, sometimes they'd gift you a free road map or scrub your white walls spotless with special cleaning solution. After paying, they'd ask if you wanted any S&H green stamps. Those little perforated booklets of stamps you could save up to trade in for cool prizes and rewards. The more gas you purchased, the more free stamps you earned. It was an excuse to go on Sunday drives with the family, cruising around town or the countryside all afternoon just to collect more stamps. Then spending evenings pasting them carefully into the redemption books, excited to trade them in for camping gear, kitchen appliances, or some other nifty item from the catalog. Using paper maps and atlases to navigate on road trips. If your dad made a wrong turn off the highway, he'd pull over to the side of the road, retrieve the wrinkled map from the glove box, and make the whole family huddle around to locate it exactly where we took the wrong exit. No cell phones or GPS to rely on back then, just a folded up sheet of paper directing us on our way. Back in the day, cameras didn't work like they do now. There was no digital. Everything was on film. You'd buy a roll of 24 or 36 exposure film to put in your camera. Once the roll was nearly finished, you'd have to be very selective about the remaining shots you took, because once you reached the end, that was it. Taking lots of pictures like we do today on our phones was impossible. You really had to consider if something was worthy of capturing one of your limited number of photos. Is this landscape going to come out good? Should I use one of my last 2 shots on this? You had to be judicious with capturing moments. Part of the fun was not knowing exactly how the pictures turned out until you got your film developed. You'd drop off the film roll at the pharmacy or camera shop and anxiously await to get the printed photos back, hoping your shots were framed right and in focus. Such a surprise to see the finished product. Do you remember when TV stations used to stop broadcasting late at night? They'd play the national anthem and then just go to static or show the flag. That was your cue that it was time for bed. Today there are channels that play all night long, but when we were kids, the day's programming ended at midnight. Those were just a few nostalgic memories from the old days. Let me know in the comments if this video brought back memories for you too. Be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And as always, thank you for watching.